Okay, we're on.
All right.
We're on. Oh man, after a long time, we're back on the Godzilla podcast.
Yeah, it's been a minute. You had a lot of episodes to watch.
Yes, the what was it? Like 1978 to 1981 Godzilla, Hanna Barbera
Seriously, is
Guns.
that what it's from?
Yes, it because originally we were going to do Heisei Godzilla. So just kind of quick recap. Showa era, basically Showa and Heisei are period in Japan, actual government period where I believe the ruling emperor was either the Showa or the Heisei. So those are actual periods in their history, and
Nice.
that's why they refer to Showa era because it occurred during that time period, essentially. So we was gonna go Heisei.
Kamen Rider is the same.
Okay, so Kamen Rider. Yes, because I forgot there is I think Heisei Kamen Rider, I believe.
Yes.
And
Yes.
So we was going to go to Heisei, which I believe is 1980s Godzilla, but I found out that there was something earlier. It was 1978 Godzilla, which was the Hanna Barbera Godzilla series, the Godzilla Power Hour. And let's get Godzilla out there with his glorious role of all time, the best one. Of course, America does everything better here.
I still say he's honestly
down,
saying
please.
roar.
What's really funny is if you've ever seen Hanna Barbera and if you've ever seen the Scooby Doo, doesn't he sound like a monster from a Scooby Doo episode?
Yeah.
He looks like a monster from a Scooby-Doo episode.
He really
That too.
actually do. And we can't forget Godzuki.
I'm going to hurt you.
We can forget him. I forgot him until you brought it up.
Oh my goodness, this is just a glorious. This is gonna be a glorious one. You can already see with little sidekick characters, you can already see this is gonna be good. We got a Scrappy Doo character up in the air. So we'll start off with the main crew. We have going from left. Well, the names are on the screen if you can see it. If you're watching on YouTube, you got Carl Majors, aka Majors. He's the captain of the ship. You have Brock.
Wait. His name is Majors?
His last name is Majors.
Oh, I thought he was a major. Oh, I misheard that entirely.
Yeah, no, his name is Carl Majors. Captain
my
Carl
bad.
Majors.
To be fair, I watched very few episodes of this show.
We got Brock Bolden, who is the first mate. We have Quinn. I'm gonna butcher this last. Darien. Yeah, Darian. Yeah, Darien. Dr. Quinn Darien. And we got Pete Darien, nephew to Quinn.
Oh.
Yeah,
I had
that's
that
pretty
all
much
wrong.
each one of their titles because there's not much about them. They don't really go into their backstory in any of their episodes. They don't talk much about them, about who they was, why the aunt is taking around her nephew all around the world. They don't. The only thing I've ever been able to gather is they are a research vessel. I'm assuming Dr. Quinn is leading the research team. And, of course, Captain Major is, of course, the captain of the ship, with Brock being his first mate. And I think the only thing I can assume is that Dr. Quinn took Pete along with her because probably pitched it to his parents that, hey, let's, let your nephew get out, see the world, do a little research with me, could be my lab assistant type deal.
So the parents leaving them like the OG.
Never talk about Pete's parents. For all I know, he could be an orphan.
Yeah, like the OG, the DuckTales OG Huey, Dewey, and Louie thing.
Well, I mean, in the OG, yes. In the new one,
In the OG, they never had parents. They just were like passed around because nobody wanted them.
in the new one, in the
In the
remake
new one, it's a lot nicer.
We get to see Deli Duck. We get to see their mother, but
Yeah, no, as I said, the OG. I use that term right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, good.
And we got Godzuki standing at about. I had to look around. Most people average him around 3.8 meters or 12 feet in freedom units. You can
Damn
kind of
right.
see a size comparison. It's really inconsistent in the show because I've seen him. You'll see other screenshots of him where he look a little bit bigger. Other time he look a little bit smaller.
I was
I
gonna
think
say, I thought he was just a little taller than the kid.
no, you see, that's what I mean. In some shots, he is shorter than the kid. This is the concept art, as you can see. This is straight up from their production. This is what I'm using as the how big he's supposed to be. Because there's other time you see him fly in front of Godzilla's face, and he's like as bigger than Godzilla's eye, so he's huge. So it's like, okay, so he's other time he can easily fit on the boat. Other time he's jumping on the boat and he's causing the boat to, almost capsize. So it's like his size is so inconsistent sometime in this series. So I'm gonna base this off how big he's supposed to be.
Gotcha. By the way, I want to say
yes.
real quick, I saw a few episodes of this show, but as a point to how little fleshed out these characters were, I had this all wrong. I thought that the Major was in charge, Quinn was his wife, and Pete was their son, and Brock was a helping hand.
So you're not too far off. I thought the same thing before I started researching this. I originally thought that Captain Majors was also the doctor leading the research team, and Quinn was either not so much his wife, because he never referred to her as like honey or anything like that. I always thought that she was his research assistant, like his partner in doing the research, and Brock was like their intern.
Yeah, I can see that too. But yeah, I thought they were together, but to be fair, like Hanna Barbera wasn't really known for having couples. I mean, look at the original Scooby-Doo. Like everybody knew Fred and Daphne were an item, but they were never actually an item.
Yeah, here there's no chemistry between Quinn or Brock or Majors. They're all platonic as far as I can tell.
Again, I go back to the original Scooby-Doo. Like they had no chemistry.
I would even disagree that there was at least something between like Daphne and Fred, because otherwise they would not ship them so hard in future incarnations.
Honestly, like looking back at it, and granted, I only saw about half the episodes of Scooby-Doo.
There's your
It was
problem.
mostly just because they were always together.
Exactly.
I think that's where it came from. Because look, let's be honest, it doesn't shipping doesn't need a lot of chemistry. I mean, look at the whole Zuko and Katara thing. They had one scene where Zuko kidnapped her and suddenly became a whole thing.
I think they were hoping for Stockholm syndrome.
The Beauty and the Beast thing.
Godzuki also don't even go over anything about his origins. They do an offhanded comment about how they saved him when he was stuck in a coral reef, if memory serves correctly, and
How did they manage that?
let me look at my notes. Okay, yeah. So he has gotten he's fat. Look at his bottom. He got fat.
No, how
bottom.
did they get him out of the coral reef?
They're in a ship. They probably just attached the rope to his tail and just put the ship in high gear.
Yeah, but how would they know? Coral reefs are underwater.
They have submarines on that ship as well.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, no,
That
they
makes
do
sense.
have a
But otherwise, I
submarine.
was
They
wondering,
have
like,
submarine. They have a helicopter. I'll show the ship later. But yes, Gunzuki. They just say he's a juvenile monster that is related to Godzilla. They don't say whether he is like. In my headcanon, I've always saw him as the cousin to Godzilla. But they don't go over anything about whether he's like Godzilla's cousin, whether he's Godzilla's son, whether he's a different. He's clearly got to be a different species than Godzilla, because Godzilla doesn't have. For those of you who's not on YouTube, Gonzuki have little gliders underneath his arms, so he can literally glide around. Well, fly technically, because what he does
it's all
is not
BS,
gliding.
so don't question it.
Yeah, and all we know, and this was just offhanded comment, was that they saved Godzuki when he got stuck in a coral reef. That made Godzilla their ally, and I believe Captain Major made a device. Well, they never even said who made the device. I'm assuming Captain Majors made the device because he always carry it, and I think he's the one who always repair it whenever it get broken. But they have a little device that Captain Majors wear on his belt that they use to summon Godzilla, and Godzilla answer their call because Gunzuki's always with them. And if they can't use the device, Gunzuki can always call Godzilla. He always come whenever Gunzuki's called. So you can't help but assume that somehow Gunzuki is related to Godzilla. Personally, if you remember Varan from that episode we did with Varan,
Yeah.
if you can't, you got a little picture of him right there. I think Gunzuki is somehow a illegitimate child of Varan and a female Godzilla at this point.
So, an unholy abomination.
I mean, well, look at them. They look very similar.
No, you're right. I'm not questioning it. And his flying makes just about as much sense.
They both got gliders underneath their arm going down to their legs.
I think I criticized this thing gliding too.
They got, they got tail, they got spikes on their back, and their face look very similar.
Fair enough.
Other than flight, quote, flight, he's fairly strong. I mean, he is about, 12 feet tall, so he is pretty strong. He's able to bend metal balls very easily. He got smoke breath. If you remember Manila having that little radiation breath, where it's not actual fire, but it's like smoke. He actually well, not smoke rings like Manila, but it's
yeah.
smoke.
No, this thing can do smoke rings, so he's even more useless.
This one just does black smoke. He got one a little bit. He also, like Manila, he can also do fire breath. It's weaker, but he can do it.
Sounds right.
They ride aboard the Calico. Calico. If you look there in the screenshot, you can see a helicopter on the front end of the ship, a submarine on the back end. So it's a pretty well fitted scientific vessel. Now that I think about it, got a helicopter and a submarine to go around. Other than that, yes.
On a side note of slight interest, I don't really get the ship name, as Calico can stand for a couple things. It can stand for a type of fabric that originated from, I think, India. I forget what's special about the fabric, but it can also refer, and this is what I actually know, to a tricolored cat.
They never gave names of why it was called the Calico, or who funded this research, or how they had this shit. Nothing. So if you've ever seen Scooby-Doo, you may wonder, why are there a bunch of kids driving around on a lonely country road in the middle of the night, what seemed to be on a weekday, going to a haunted place? I don't know. That's the same thing here. Why are there a bunch of people in a ship this highly fitted out with a Godzilla Jr. on their back going around to all these places? I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, for the Scooby-Doo thing, I always assumed they were on summer vacation. They just picked a really weird way to spend it.
That actually is the explanation.
Thank you.
That was never
vindication.
That was never explained in the original. I don't think that would. I'm not gonna say that.
Actually said that.
I'm not gonna say that it was never explained, because there could be that one offhanded comment someone made during one part of an episode where they said, "I'm glad we're on summer vacation." But I know afterward they've always said, like in the movies and stuff like that, they said they've been on summer vacation.
Makes sense.
So you are right, Archimage. It was summer vacation essentially.
Well, I mean, it had to. I always assumed that because they were all hanging out at a shop.
It is only in like Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, I believe, where it's during actual school days, because they show their school life during the daytime and stuff like that.
Well, the whole point of Mystery Incorporated was them getting into a specific school.
Exactly. So
by the end of it, so
yeah. And to be fair, like this was this was the period of Hanna Barbera where you didn't ask questions, you just kind of went with it.
Other than that,
with all cartoons, you don't ask questions and you just go with it.
Well, that brings me
you
up.
You think so? But nowadays, a lot of people ask questions. But we have entire series that are just mysteries where you're supposed to do nothing but ask questions.
Well, funny enough, that lead me to the next thing about The only changes they've really made to Godzilla besides the roar is they gave him additional abilities. Namely, they gave him laser eyes.
There was more than one episode where he did that.
Oh, there was a bunch of episodes where he did that.
I'm so glad I didn't watch this show.
And they also gave him fire nostril.
All right.
So he could shoot fire from his nose sometime. And here's the killing part. There is precedent in Japanese where Godzilla's done things like this. He shot his atomic breath from places other than his mouth.
Oh, I remember when he shot it out of his neck when he got shot in the neck.
Well, don't forget Shin Godzilla. He shot it out his dorsal fin and his tail.
Yeah, but this was way before Shin Godzilla.
No, this was way before. But for people who want to say, oh, he shouldn't have laser eyes or fire from his nose. I'm like, if he can have lasers from his dorsal fins and tails, he can have lasers from anywhere at this point. That's what I'm throwing at.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's see. What's the next slide? Oh, this is gonna be the good part. We're gonna go over each season. I'm going to give you the name of the episode, and you guys gotta figure out what's the monster and what you think the theme of the episode is.
Zed, you're up. I'm gonna fail this.
You know the
miserably.
first one. The first one's called the Firebird. I made them watch it, so.
Yeah. Still recovering from that.
So, let's see. Who remember what it was about?
Yeah, I remember. A volcano was erupting.
And what came out of it?
Rodan. But not Rodan, some other cheap knockoff Timu Rodan.
What do you think the name of that Timu Rodan was?
Volcania?
That's too creative.
Firebird?
There you go.
God damn it!
I'm going to tell you this right now to help you guys out.
As soon as you said that's too creative, I'm like, so they just called it Firebird.
I'm going to let you
I was joking!
I'm going to let you know now. I'm going to give you the name of each episode. It's going to be on the nose. The next episode is called The Earth Eater.
Let me guess. The name of the thing is the Earth Eater?
Yep. What do you think it did?
I'm assuming that it ate the Earth.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it did its taxes.
It did. It caused earthquake in San Francisco. So, you want to guess how Godzilla killed it? You want to guess how Godzilla killed it?
Why did he kill it? Just let it do it.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, this is 1978 San Fran, so not as bad. So.
Oh, damn. Okay, fine. Let's see. How did he kill it? I know it wasn't cool enough to do the open mouth and
I'll give
laser
you a
into
hint.
its mouth.
It's made out of dirt.
He threw it in the water?
Yep.
Wait, isn't that how he defeated Rodan too? I mean, knockoff Rodan?
Knockoff Rodan? No, he sealed knockoff Rodan in a underwater cave. But he didn't drown it.
Is it really that different?
Well, yeah, he's going to be locking a lot of things in caves. So, next one is called Attack of the Stone Creature.
Is this one named Stone Lion?
I mean, I think it was probably just called Stone Creature. For this one. I'll give you a hint. They were in... This one's actually pretty zany. It has the ability to create sandstorm, which, okay, that makes sense. Is in the desert, is in Egypt. It also have the ability to make blizzards.
What?
Yeah. I don't know how that works.
Okay.
There was two of them. They were at the Pyramid of Ramal. Ramal. I think that's I'm pretty sure that's fake.
Wait, spell it again?
Ramal.
Ramal?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a fake name. I didn't look it up because I assumed that if I can't just easily recall the pyramid off the top of my head, it's probably either made up or it's a very obscure pyramid in Egypt that I've never heard of.
Okay, there is a period Remal with an E, but it's a hotel.
No. These had two. There was two of these stone creatures. Godzilla killed them by letting them run into each other, and because they're rocks, they crumbled into dust. The next one will be perfect. Let's see if you can guess the monster name in this one. The Megavolt monster.
Voltron.
Voltorb. For this one, they were in a ocean area called the Valley Trench. Could not find that again. Another made up place, not the Mariana Trench, just called the Valley Trench. Megavolt monsters was they basically
Electabuzz.
Yeah, kind of. They were recharging. They got their powers from an electric rock formation. So they destroyed the. They basically beat them by destroying the rock formation, and they just ran out of power.
So they got their powers from electric rocks.
Yes, like a Pokemon. Next one is a Scooby-Doo monster. If I ever seen it, I'm gonna let you guess the name of it.
Swamp Thing?
Close, but think ocean.
Help.
Algae monster?
Too complicated with algae or kelp. Think what the most
Seaweed?
There you go, seaweed monster.
I hate everything.
What I do like is they actually put it in a real life location. I'm gonna butcher this. The Sargasso Sea. Sargasso.
Your pronunciation's as good as mine.
This is actually a real location in the Atlantic known for floating seaweed. So I actually gotta give them credit. They went to a place that was known for having floating seaweed. Actually, Sargasso is the name of the seaweed that is floating in that area.
Yeah, no. I do know what you're talking about. One thing, that seaweed is that weird yellow seaweed with all the little baubles on it.
Yes. So
Which I'm not gonna lie, I never really thought of it as seaweed. I mean, now that I think about it, yeah, it is definitely seaweed. Just
and
yellow.
I'll give you two guesses on how he killed seaweed monster.
by burning it.
Yep. Put it on land and let it dry out so he could set it on fire.
I mean, yeah.
And then
Isn't that how they got rid of Swamp Thing in that Harley Quinn and Batman animated movie?
Oh no, they use matches.
The difference being?
Harley Quinn just say, "Who got a match?" This one they actually had to get him from the water because you can't burn seaweed while it's wet. So, the next one will be the Energy Beast.
Why is it a centipede?
Because it's an alien. I can't make that up. It is an alien.
I don't know what I was expecting for an answer.
It's an alien that can absorb energy and it can transform into the energy of the creatures it absorbs. So it transformed into Godzilla. And I'm a little bit impressed on how Godzilla beat this one. If I recall correctly, they tricked it back into transforming into a giant centipede monster, and Godzilla tossed it into space.
He tossed it into space.
Yep. You're going to be hearing that a lot.
Like a seismic toss, or did he roll him up in a ball and pitch him like a softball?
I think he pitched him like a softball, if memory serves correctly.
Okay.
Onward, because you guys wanted to hear about Atlantis, the Colossus of Atlantis.
Oh, yeah, that's what that thing looked like.
Now we're going to get into some crazy stuff. So basically, this is Atlantis, and it's time travel. They discover Atlantis, which was sunk by an earthquake. The Atlantean are suspended themselves in time because whatever caused the island to sink, they basically were like, well, we'll just, suspend ourselves in time until we figure out a solution for this. And until the disaster is over. Well, the problem is, whatever caused the disaster also knocked out the alarm clock. so they kind of overslept, and the Colossus, which was supposed to wake them up, started to malfunction. And anyone want to take any guess how Godzilla beat the Colossus robot?
Throwing it in the water.
Yes, it wasn't waterproof.
Of course.
The Atlantean robot that was in the island in the middle of the ocean was not waterproof. And of course, afterward, and they got them out of their suspended animation, they went back to their home planet.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, see, I saw these episodes. I remember the Atlantis episode. I do remember that one. Like that was one of the few I saw, I think, because I had a fascination with Atlantis at the time.
I'm so glad the reruns of Hanna Barbera cartoons I watched growing up did not include this show.
The next one, Horror of the Forgotten Island, upper left corner with the one-eye lobster man. Any guesses on what his name is?
Lobster?
Too complicated.
Okay,
I said it too.
Wait, I got this.
I said it.
Psychobster.
No, that's too creative. I said it.
I know, but I'd rather come up with any other name than One-Eyed Monster.
No, it's Cyclops creature. Come on, get with the picture. Get with the picture. This one, there was a storm caused by a magnetic disturbance of I can't make this up. Taylor's Comet. Is there actually a Taylor's Comet? I didn't bother to look that up. I'm sure there is, because they like to name everything after people like to name everything after themselves. While you're looking that up, it leads them to a place called the Forgotten Island. Basically, this is another doozy. Aliens came here, forgot, and got stuck on that island by the Cyclops creature. They're unable to beat the creature, so they basically trapped it on the island where force field with themselves. The Cyclops creature can pretty much turn itself invisible. That's its only real power.
On a side note, there is a Taylor's Comet that was discovered in 1915.
Ah, okay.
It passes by very rarely, though, and was set to return in 1922, but actually was lost and was never seen again.
Ah, well, maybe. Okay, Forgotten Island, Forgotten Comet. I'm actually a little bit impressed now.
Yeah. I feel like they didn't know anything about this, and this was a complete coincidence.
I'm 100% sure of that. They basically beat this monster. They throw paint on it so Godzilla can see it, and then they trapped it back on the island.
That's some bullshit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you think that, because now the next one is the Island of the Lost Ships. You know what?
Kraken?
Close.
Oh God, what the? That's what is that called? Damn it. That's a real monster from Greek mythology.
Yes, we went over it too in the monster in mythical
the Manicore.
Close. Think with a C.
Capricorn.
CH.
No. The Chimera. That's it.
It's the Chimera, and the woman below it is also a monster we went over.
Oh, it can't be Medusa. That must be Echidna.
Think more general and think Odyssey. Odysseus.
Oh, Calypso.
Sorry. Let me even go a little bit further. Think think earwax in the ears.
Siren?
Wax in the ears. Sorry.
She's a siren?
Yep.
I'm calling crap on that.
So in this one, the Calico discovered an island on one night. And the Siren Sisters, who inhabit the island, wanted to keep the crew prisoner for all eternity. They summoned Godzilla to save them. The three sirens fused with the Chimera to give it more power and to make it larger. And Godzilla tricked it into falling off a cliff.
Lame.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're gonna get just moving through these. Oh, here's a good one. The Magnetic Terror. We actually saw a picture of this one already.
Are you sure that's not Gamera's lower, slower brother?
Uh, no, he doesn't bring fire. I don't think he breathes fire. So no.
That's why I said slower brother.
Ah, well, for this one, he came from the ocean, fed on anything he could, brought down a plane. Um, Basically, his power was he absorbed magnetic waves from the poles, and he grew in size as he absorbed them.
Sounds like a preliminary prototype test for Gamera.
Yeah, I
What?
guess so. He didn't really fly.
Gamera was built.
Well,
Gamera's official story is he was built by Atlanteans.
well, he died. Well, I think Gamma actually died this way too. In one, the way he died, they got him to absorb too much magnetic waves, and he blew up.
Oh, that sounds right.
Next one is this one got the worst name, the Breeder Beast.
The what?
The Breeder Beast.
Are you saying breeder or breather?
Breeder, Breeder.
Okay.
What do you think this looked like?
I'm afraid to say.
I didn't know his name until I actually looked up the episode.
Like, I'm genuinely afraid to say what I think it looks like with a name like that.
It's not as bad as you think, clearly. Because
I would hope not. As bad as I think needs a giant sensor bar.
But I think they need. Well, you're not too wrong on how it looks.
Okay, I'm worried now.
There we go.
Okay, you're not as bad as I thought.
It's just a block. It basically was a single cell organism that that had a living breeder reactor inside of it. I don't know what the breeder reactor was off the top of my head. And it basically started to absorb any material it could find. It went to the U.S. Mint and started to absorb all the gold, silver, and precious metals in it.
Bastard.
Godzilla hit it with laser eyes, and they originally thought it was going to cause a nuclear reaction, but because apparently it had that breeder reactor in it, but it could basically manipulate whatever it absorbed. So basically, the materials that it had consumed caused it to start to crystallize, and basically, once it started to crystallize, it started to lose all that material, and it basically shrunk back into a single cell organism. So Godzilla shot to death with laser eyes.
I'm just thinking. I think I did see this episode.
Well, the next one, another Scooby-Doo related monster, the Sub-Zero Terror. They're in the Himalaya mountains. Give you two guesses what the monster is.
A Yeti?
Yep. Like I said, think of this the simplest explanation, and you got Godzilla.
Yeah, I really didn't watch this show.
Yeah, no, this one they were looking up the source of a geothermal energy. They go into a volcano, discover a village, white fur humanoid creatures like that that calls themselves the Wachuca.
The Wachuca?
Wachuca. And the village was powered by a steam engine, which was the source of geothermal energy.
I just want to say, if this show had been done in live action, they definitely would have had a bunch of Asian guys in blackface.
Oh, jeez, that would have been amazing. Basically,
you know it's true.
That one is called the Great Wachuca, and well, I'll give you a hint that on the mountainside, how you think Godzilla killed that?
Threw him off the mountain?
Yep, off the cliff with him. And Oh, and this is the one where Godzilla seal a volcano with a giant rock to trap them inside.
Okay, half of these you could replace Godzilla with King Kong. It would be the exact same thing.
I mean, well, you know what? We'll get to the last one. The Time Dragons. It's just a T-Rex.
Whose arms are way too long.
I know. This one's a little. It's getting like a little bit Doctor Who now. The crew and Godzilla are hit by a nuclear powered satellite, which transport them back in time.
What?
Yep.
Wait, you want to run that by me again?
Basically, a nuclear powered satellite fell from orbit, and it was gonna hit the Calypso. So they called Godzilla. He caught it, and then a energy surrounded them, and they got sent back in time. Which is where they ran into the Time Dragon, aka the T-Rex with the long arms.
Wait. A nuclear-powered satellite.
Yes, it sent people back in time. Didn't you know that?
A satellite that runs off nuclear power.
It's the key to time travel. I mean, if we look in Doctors Who taught us, they use a sun, we use nuclear power. We're just a little bit smaller than the Time Lords.
Zed, help.
No.
Basically, they all got transported back to the modern time period with Time Dragon included. However, the same satellite that had sent them back in time was about to hit Godzilla again. Godzilla blew it with a hurricane-like wind blast and sent the satellite towards the Time Dragon, and it touched him and sent him back to his own time.
Okay.
And all of those was season 1.
How many seasons were there?
Season 2. So this is last season. And
how did this get 2 seasons?
You're going to ask that when we get to some of these episodes. Next episode is called The Calico Clones. This is where we start. You can tell they're scraping the bottom of the barrels. Evil scientists basically
creates calamari.
Yeah, he basically make a giant squid, and he clones his own daughter, who he referred to as his number one, and he basically wanted to use the Calico. He wanted to clone the people, our main characters, the crew of the Calico, because basically they were going to visit a scientist. They were on their way to visit another scientist who knew Dr. Quinn. And basically, the reason they were going to visit that scientist was, I think, there was some type of experiment that the scientist would... what was the scientist doing? The scientist knew about an oil deposit. So basically, the evil scientists wanted to clone the crew of the Calico, send their clones to meet with the scientist so he could learn the location of the oil deposit so he could have it to himself. So it's literally Scooby-Doo. He won the oil.
Okay.
Let's just again. He mastered cloning people perfectly, and could even make. And he mastered biological engineering because he made a giant squid. Yet he was concerned about an oil deposit.
I want to remind you that when Osmandius created a giant squid, he tricked the entire world into an unsteady alliance.
Yes. This guy just sent it to fight Godzilla.
Yeah.
And you know what? Godzilla versus Giant Squid. How you think he beat it? Think Looney Tune.
He threw it out of the sea?
Half right.
I want to say bit off his legs, but that's way too...
You gotta think more Looney Tune, but it does have to do with legs. Think Looney Tunes. What always
tied up his legs?
Exactly. Legs get tied up, and Zed What I think it was Machamp who had something in his Pokedex about being able to throw something over the horizon. If memory serves
The
correctly.
only Pokedex entry I remember from Machamp is being able to push mountains.
I remember one of the Pokemon had in their Dex entry, they can throw an enemy over the horizon.
It was probably Machamp.
That's what Godzilla did. He threw him over the horizon.
Okay.
Like I said, this is where you could tell they were scraping the bottom of the barrel and they were getting silly with things. The next one, Micro Godzilla.
So Manila.
Close.
Oh,
Very close. Basically, a pink fog shows up. Where does it come from? I don't know. What made it? I don't know. What does it do? It make tiny thing big and make big things small.
so how big is Godzilla there?
So Godzilla started to shrink, while the fly started to become kaiju size. At this point in from this screenshot, Godzilla is back to his regular size. No, I believe at this point Godzilla is shrinking, but the fly is getting bigger. So the fly is kaiju size right now. Godzilla is also a kaiju, but he's significantly smaller than what he used to be.
I think I may have seen a little bit of this.
They reversed the process, and this was one of the few episodes where Godzilla really don't fight a kaiju. I know I have him showing him fighting the fly. That wasn't really much of the fly. The fly only wanted to go after Brock and Pete because they tried to swat it when it was a tiny fly and it remembered. Once they shrunk it back to regular size, I mean they kind of just got rid of it at that point. And Godzilla just went back into the water. So this was the only one where he didn't really fight a kaiju.
So what I'm hearing from this is make sure to murder all insects or they will come after you.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we knew that. Like, Zed, you knew that. Like, with cockroaches, you always destroy them.
Yeah.
And now, we're really getting Scooby Doo. Episode 3 of season 2, the Ghost Ship. Any guesses of what Godzilla fight in this one?
The Flying Dutchman?
Nope, an octopus.
Of course.
What? How's that different from the squid?
So this one actually did have a more interesting episode, in my opinion, a story. Basically, they find a World War I U-79 U-boat, German U-boat, in an iceberg. And they unfreeze it. And they basically find that the crew is still alive. They were somehow suspended by being frozen alive. Go figure. But they basically think that the war is still happening. So I do like these stories where you get the soldiers who don't realize the war is already over. So this one was a little bit more interesting because it wasn't like they were bad, because they were trying to explain to them, go, look, the war ended like several decades ago. It's over. You can just go home and be with your family. Well, your grandchildren. Your grandchildren.
I had to rethink that one for a second.
Yeah, your grandchildren.
It's funny if that was in the episode.
Well, during the confrontation, they asked one of the crewmate, is Cole's acting crazy, and he shoot his missile, the torpedo. It hit an underwater cave. The giant octopus show up. They get Godzilla, and I mean, it got legs. You know what Godzilla did? He tied it up, and then he threw it back in the cave and locked it in the cave.
Yeah, pretty much.
The next episode 4 of season 2, The Beast of Storm Island. Are you ready for a strange looking monster?
Yeah, shoot, why not? What is that?
The only way I can explain this to the people on Spotify, it looks like my understanding is it's a cobra with legs and arms all the way by his head, and the mane of the cobra is on top of his head rather than on the side of its neck.
Oh, I legit thought its face was a cat face.
And this one actually does have a name. That isn't like snake creature or something like that.
Cobra Khan?
Close. Axel. AXO. AXO's all.
Axor?
Axel.
Why?
Okay, Zed, gotta help me out. Isn't that a Pokemon name? Or am I
What is what?
Axel? AXO.
No, that is not a Pokemon name.
Okay.
Unless you're thinking of Haxorus.
I'm thinking of Haxorus for some reason. You know what? It does kind of look like Haxorus. If Haxorus fell
Excuse
into...
me? No, it does not.
It's a snake.
It's not even close.
It's a snake-like dragon monster.
Haxorus is not a snake.
It is serpentine, though.
No, it's not.
Well, it's skinny. Yes, okay.
I'm done with this conversation.
This one is a strange one. They're off the coast of Canada, and they find an island called Storm Island. And basically, Axel, he's basically hypnotizing people, controlling them, and enslaving them to basically worship him on that island. And he's been just trapping ships on that island to trap the crew to make them worship him. With his mind ray ability. Basically, Godzilla win this one. He shoot his melee wise, Godzilla can beat this thing no problem, but he keeps running away from him or trying to get away. He's actually intelligent. He's the only kaiju that was intelligent because he was trying to enslave Godzilla. Basically, Godzilla tried to use his atomic breath on him. It missed and burnt the sides of a mountain, turning it to glass. And Godzilla basically tricked him into shooting his slave beam at the glass, which reflected it back at him.
I was going to say, I already know where this is going.
Yep. So, and once he got hit by his slave beam, he faded out of his existence.
And I will also say, Slave Beam, awesome name.
Yep. That's what it was called, slave beam. Oh, mind control beam.
Uh,
Oh, okay, next one, the city in the clouds. The monster is called the Power Dragon.
okay, I feel like this is like, Zed, help me out here. Isn't this a Pokemon or a Yu-Gi-Oh monster?
I think he's thinking of what's that dragon? Salaman? Oh, the
Salamence.
Salaman. I think he's thinking of Salamence.
I don't think he knows what Salamence is.
That's the only one I can think of that this looked familiar with.
The answer is no, I do not.
The head is vaguely Charizard shaped.
Yeah, the head's more Charizard, but the body is pretty much legs and wings.
I feel like I've seen this design somewhere.
For this
You
one,
mean every flying creature with a dragon head ever?
Probably.
while you're thinking of it, this one is basically a oh, it's aliens again. Alien civilization came, hit the city in a thundercloud. The Power Dragon kept attacking them.
How do so many aliens have giant monsters?
I mean, this one was attacking them, so it wasn't really their friend. Ironically enough, they had like a Greek theme because the leader of the alien was called Zeus, Zeus. I want to say Zeus, but it's yeah. But there's a hyphen in between the ZE and the US. So, basically, they're trying to activate a portal, but every time they activate the portal, the Power Dragon is attracting the Power Dragon who's attacking them. Basically, what happened is they get Godzilla up there, because they can see that he's the only thing that can fight the Power Dragon. The Power Dragon shorted out the generators that form the storms, causing it and the aliens to return to the homeworld.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, no, the next one, the cyborg whale. It's
Okay,
literally
that looks a bit cooler.
okay. It's literally a submarine, pretty much. Um, this
Yeah,
one's
at least
actually a
it's
little bit
not
more
bad looking.
interesting
So.
though. Basically, the cyborg whale was built as a by a government party to farm plankton and to mine for deep sea materials. It was supposed to be complete autonomous and was supposed to be able to run essentially for almost indefinitely, and it was supposed to be able to survive very large storms. But of course, things go haywire. One, the lightning from a storm hit it, caused it to go run amok. Um, and basically, they have to get Godzilla to deal with it. And basically, Godzilla caught the tail and twisted the rudder, and it forced the cyber whale to just go in circles until it ran out of power, and then they just towed it back for repairs.
Heh.
Which, in all honesty, that actually was a smart solution for dealing with like a submarine or something. Just mess with the rudder so it goes in a circle.
I was gonna say that's like the most realistic Godzilla fight in this show so far.
Okay, good, because now we're about to get back to unrealistic. And what
Oh,
was
for
that?
heaven's sake.
You guys had something, and I said, remember that about kill bugs?
Oh yeah, kill all bugs before or they will come after you.
Well,
Yes.
that's a good thing, because next episode we call the Valley of the Giants, which take place in Kilimanjaro, Africa. That is
Please
a
tell me
giant
that's
spider.
Godzuki.
Yep, that Godzuki about to be eaten by a giant black widow.
I'm guessing he survived.
Yes, of course he survived.
Yeah.
Basically, a construction crew was working on a new highway. They blew open a mountainside to a valley, and a bunch of giant ants came out and attacked them. Of course, the Calico come to investigate. They discover the valley and how it's full of. It wasn't just a giant spider. There was giant spider, giant antlion, giant bees, giant ants, giant spiders. So there was a lot of monsters. I'm focusing only on the giant black widow because that was the only thing Godzilla really fought and was really a threat to Godzilla. It did poison him and try to cocoon him, like Komungo. Basically, they distracted long enough for Godzilla to wake back up, use his atomic rays to burn the webbing, and what did he do? Oh, he got the spider to bite itself, causing it to basically pass out.
Oh, that works.
It wasn't immune to his own venom. Basically, after they got out of the valley, they sealed it back up. Oh yeah, this next one. Okay, Alchemist, you were hoping Godzilla go a little bit more extreme. He pulls a Superman in this one.
What, he flies?
Sorry, he pulls an Injustice Superman from this one.
Oh.
Hey, the flying was a genuine question because it happened in the freaking movies.
True. This one's called Moon Load. Moon Lode. Moon Load?
LODD?
Lode.
Moon load.
Load?
Load? Yeah, I guess so.
It can't be load. That's LOAD, but load. Oh, whatever.
It's not Lodi and it's not Lode, so it's either it's either load or lod.
Right?
Possibly Moon Lod, maybe?
Lod's probably Lod at least won't be confusing. Let's go with Lod.
Oh yeah, because none of this is confusing.
Well, this one, Godzilla fights.
It'll be less confusing. What do you want from me?
Well, this one, Godzilla is fighting the Gravity Goliath. Basically, debris from the moon fell towards the Earth, and that was the Gravity Goliath. The Calico fight back with they're on the Sea Lab. And they fight back with the force rays from the Sea Lab to weaken it. And basically Godzilla lobotomized the Gravity Goliath with his eye lasers, and then hurls him basically into a beam that's going back up to the moon. But yeah, he
Okay.
straight up lobotomized. He straight up pulls a Superman from Justice League. He shoot his laser eye directly at it at the thing's head, and it goes vegetative state where it just completely go dead eye with his mouth wide open as Godzilla just yeets it back to the moon.
Yeah, that's the most iconic scene from Injustice, isn't it?
Yeah. From that Justice League it was. The next episode is called. You can guess they're in India. The Golden Guardians. We get beam class.
Godzilla remembers he has other powers, right?
Yeah, but laser eyes is he never got to use laser eyes before. Let him have his fun. This one they're in India. There's like this rock called the Dream Rock, where basically when a priest fall asleep next to the rock, they can control the Golden Guardians and awaken them and make them fight for them. There's like 4 of them. I think if memory serves, most of them get most of them like they disappear when the person who's controlling them wakes up. They accidentally destroy the stones for the last one, so it's running amok. And Godzilla beat that one by basically melting him because he is made of gold.
Sure, why not?
Oh, of course, we gotta go back to the giant because everyone liked giant animals. The macro beasts. Again, there is seismic activity and something. I think it was pink water. What do I have in my nose? What was it? No, something in the water was, and we don't know what. Something in the water was basically making everything get bigger. So the manta ray not only got bigger, but it could fly. I don't know why. Manta rays definitely can't fly, even if they get bigger, but okay, go with it. And it basically made all the sea life bigger, so you had giant sea horses, giant jellyfishes. Basically, all they did was Godzilla trapped them in a blocked off area. They figure out that the coal basically can undo the effects. So Godzilla took an iceberg and tossed it in the area and made them all shrink. And what did they? I think they found the area where that was making them grow bigger, and they basically sealed it off.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah. What's the next episode? Oh, Pacific Peril.
Please tell me he does a crossover with Pacific Rim.
Well, no, but they do go into the Ring of Fire.
Is that a salamander?
What was this one called? Did I put the name down for this one? I think they were called magma creatures, basically. Pretty much. They are about slightly bigger than Gunzuki. They're not that big. So, yeah, they're only a little bit bigger than Godzuki. I would say maybe double the size of Godzuki.
So that makes him a snack.
Pretty much. Basically, they went in investigating what was causing the volcanic eruptions all over the Ring of Fire. They found these things. And they summoned Godzilla. And, the hardest part was Godzilla getting in, because they're in an underwater chasm by the volcano. The hardest part was for Godzilla to get there. Once he got there, he scared them all away just by looking at them. They took one look at him and they realized he could step on them.
Yeah, I would think so.
Now, episode 12 is a special one. That leads to my theory. But we will skip that one and skip to the ending of episode 13, The Deadly Asteroid. This was the last episode for season 2. And the last one for the whole series. This one, aliens again.
Are those ice creatures?
Yes, they are. They are the Frios aliens.
Oh, great.
alien race made entirely of ice, hailing from a frozen asteroid, Frios.
Isn't that a video game character?
Possibly. What I thought of was the if you remember the old Christmas specials with the Heatmeister, I thought of his brother, the Wintermeister or the Icemeister or whatever.
You mean like the old stop motion ones? With the
Exactly.
creepy, yes, Jack Frost and all that. Yeah,
Exactly.
they do look like them. They really do.
Basically, you could tell this one was the end of the series because they kind of amped things up. Basically, they start to alter the Earth's climate and freezing everything on the planet. Within 2 days, they were completely froze the Earth over. They were using a UFO to do so. And basically, long story short, Godzilla flipped the UFO upside down, reversing the ship magnetic rays to instead repel the asteroid, the Frios asteroid, away from the Earth, saving the Earth from destruction.
Sure, makes sense.
And they ran off when they realized how tough Godzilla was. And the reason I say you could tell this was like the last one, they made it clear that everyone on Earth knew that Godzilla saved the day for them.
They didn't before?
So that's the other strange thing about this. Most people, when they see this, they have no idea who Godzilla is. A few people do, but most people are like, what the heck is that thing?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's very inconsistent over who.
Oh, a Hanna Barbera cartoon is inconsistent?
Well,
Who would have thought?
It's inconsistent over knowing how much do people know about Godzilla? Do they know that he destroyed half of Tokyo? Do they know about him? Do they not know about him? Because some people do actively know, okay, Godzilla's a giant monster in the Pacific. We don't go over there because that's Godzilla's place. Other people have no idea what Godzilla is till they see him.
I'm just thinking, all the jokes about Scooby-Doo going, can they actually understand the dog?
But we gotta get to the conspiracy theory I have developed. For season 2, episode 12, the name of the episode is called Island of Doom.
Okay, sorry, but pause for 1 second just so I can kind of brace myself. I have one question.
Okay.
Are you approaching this conspiracy theory with the same amount of dedication you approach Black Logic from Black Dynamite with?
I would say this is more coherent than Black Dynamite logic.
Okay, all right, I'm ready.
I would say this is more coherent. So this episode is called Island of Doom. Basically, the Calico goes to Australia, and they're off the coast of Australia to monitor a new satellite that was meant to photograph the South Pacific.
Another nuclear-powered satellite?
No, this is a regular satellite for this is actually a normal, kind of like Google Earth satellite to photograph the Pacific. So this.
Yeah, I'm stating that because satellites do not run off nuclear power.
Well, the satellite pretty much gets shot down. And the Calico is trying to figure out, okay, who's shooting down a satellite that's about to launch? And they go to an island, and on that island, they meet some military terrorist personnel that look very familiar. That look just familiar to another 1980s cartoon comic. And they and hang on, we'll get there. They had the bright idea of they have nuclear nuclear missile stockpile on their island, and they have every major city around the world targeted, and they're going to hold the whole planet hostage unless they make them into the rulers of the planet.
Okay.
They look so familiar, and I just don't know where to place that logo. Any guesses where you saw a logo that looked like that before?
Granted, I did not watch a lot of cartoons, but I admit I see some similarities.
I'm not good. And here's okay. I'm just gonna drop the facade. They're Cobra.
Yeah, I kind of got
Godzilla
that.
fought Cobra in this episode, and here's the killing part. I looked it up. G.I. Joe, a real American hero toy line, did not introduce the Cobra organization into their toy line till 1982. This episode aired 1979.
Oh, wow. Wait,
So-
was G.I. Joe made by Hanna Barbera?
No, G.I. Joe was made by Hasbro Toys. Hasbro. Sorry, not Hasbro Toys. Hasbro.
Shit, did they steal it?
Now here's something else. Here's the theory I'm working off of. And go with me on this. Godzilla is part. He's a secret member, but he's one of the founding members of G.I. Joe.
Okay.
Because here's why. The rest of the episode, after they find that place, they get taken hostage. They manage to get off a signal called Godzilla. This Cobra military group, and the name of the organization is called Cobra. This Cobra organization that is armed to the T, bring tanks, artillery, jets, all to bear on Godzilla. Needless to say, he doesn't react well to it. They bring everything from tanks, artillery, and it doesn't even faze Godzilla. He walks over them. He take Cobra apart piece by piece. This was probably my favorite episode because it's just watching Godzilla destroy a whole army by himself.
Nice. So back to his roots.
Yeah, back to his origin. This was like home. This was like him. He went home. He's like, oh, this is all old news. I knew this. I know how to do this. I did this all over Tokyo. I can do this here. This is a small island. This is half the size of Tokyo. He pretty much destroyed Cobra. This gave the Calico crew enough time to escape. They managed to, I believe, disarm the nuclear weapons. They reached out. After this whole adventure was gone and Godzilla pretty much destroyed everything of Cobra on the island. Everything from the headquarters. He takes out the airport with his laser eyes. He pretty much goes ham on this place.
Nice.
He goes after this with a vengeance. It's like they went after his family on this one. I thought he was John Wick for a moment. I was waiting for him to pull out a gun or a pencil.
I'm saying post-traumatic stress syndrome. You know, he's been away from Japan for a long time. This just brought back memories.
Whatever. Yeah, he started having Vietnam-style flashback there. Whatever happened. And here's the thing that's really kicker. At the end, they radio the Australian government. And they were informed that a UN task force would sweep the island to arrest Cobra and seize all their weapons. I'm just saying, 1978, if it's a UN task force, it's pretty much all US personnel at that point.
I mean, it makes sense in a way.
So my theory is, and go with me now, Godzilla's the founding member of G.I. Joe.
Well, I guess if he fought Cobra first, that does.
He
technically
fought
make it
Cobra
true.
first. He destroyed Cobra. And I think when they came back, they were like, okay, Godzilla's gone. We can take them now. And I think, and this had my theory, this started me thinking, G.I. Joe is pretty much government issue soldier for the U.S. It's pretty much the U.S. for G.I. Joe. I think Godzilla was the proto G.I. Joe member, which is why he went after Japan. Because he was the early weapon of the G.I. Joe program they sent off to Japan to deal with Japan for World War II, and no one told him the war was over. So he just kind of went a little bit overboard. And the U.S. government were like, oh, we forgot about the giant radioactive lizard. Our bad. You know what? We'll just ignore it. We'll just ignore it. It's 1954. We got enough going on in Korea. Shh, we just won't talk about it. They
Why
can
does
they
that
can handle
weirdly
it.
make sense?
And I think afterward, he would just start swimming around in the ocean, meet with the Calico, and you know, I think he kind of just suffered a little bit of amnesia. You know, just chilling. And then he ran into Cobra and he's like, I remember my purpose. It's to destroy the enemies of the U.S. Starting with Cobra. And you know what? G.I. Joe start with a G. Who's to say that government issue don't mean Godzilla issue?
How long did you think about this? And how long did it find you to take that picture?
That picture's actually from ChatGPT.
Okay, nice.
I'm actually
Still.
surprised it gave me that and it didn't copyright me on this. I'm just saying, this feels really natural. And look, I know Hasbro owned G.I. Joe and Toho owned Godzilla, but this is the movie we need, guys. This is the movie we didn't know we needed.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it would be pretty badass. Like,
And
weren't they doing a combo of G.I. Joe and Transformers at some point?
I believe so. And the killing part is they've never done a Godzilla G.I. Joe crossover.
Right.
They've never done it. Not even the comics.
God, imagine a Transformers and Godzilla crossover.
We gotta make this. I'm just saying, G.I. Joe, Godzilla issue Joe. It makes sense. It all makes sense now. He hates Japan. We didn't like Japan during World War II. He fought Cobra. G.I. Joe fought Cobra. He always disappear into the ocean. He's Snake Eyes. He was the first Snake Eyes. That also makes sense with his obsession with Japan. Snake Eyes was obsessed with Japanese stuff.
Wait, was Snake Eyes not Japanese?
Maybe he was. I don't remember.
I don't know. He was wearing a mask, I assumed, because he was a
He
ninja.
was the ninja of the G.I. Joe, is what I remember. And I've never seen a kaiju disappear like Godzilla.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, look, I'm just throwing it out there. Godzilla, G.I. Joe. I'm just putting those things out there. Other than that, we're getting to the end of the Godzilla Power Hour. I mean, we gotta get him up here one last time.
Did we have to, though?
Yes, we did. So, to go over the Godzilla trademark role, Hanna Barbera did receive the rights to use the original Godzilla role. But for some reason, they cast Ted Cassidy, the same guy who did the voice for the live action Incredible Hulk.
That's why that sounds so familiar.
Yep. They cast Ted Cassidy to do the vocal. And they had just already did the vocal. So they decided to just keep reusing it. And I think they did that to keep consistency because all the monsters sounds like just a random guy going raw. So I think they just did that to keep it consistent across all the kaijus pretty much.
I could see that. On a side note of slight interest, just because I know this about Hanna Barbera, while a lot of people remember their cartoons, some of the cartoons that people don't know about, Hanna Barbera did a special where they did 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and The Count of Monte Cristo.
Huh.
The Count of Monte Cristo that they did deviates heavily from the book, probably for obvious reasons. And 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was not bad. You can find them both on YouTube.
So they have another precedent of doing a show about people sailing around the sea.
Yes.
And let's get Godzuki in here as well. Because we had to get him in here as well. The last little trivia I had was the premise of this show is a team of humanitarian scientists traveling around the globe fighting giant monsters. sounds familiar because if you remember the Godzilla, I believe 2000 TV series, that was the same premise.
Pretty much.
A ship with a crew of scientists sailing around, summoning Godzilla to fight kaijus.
It's kind of funny when you think of the strange similarities. So this was based off an awesome kaiju movie that made a kind of subpar cartoon show. Yet the 2000s was an awesome cartoon show based off a subpar movie.
Yep. And what's killing is even so, I still I do like these because if anything, that episode 12 kind of redeemed it in my eyes. Island of Doom, because that was just a fun episode of watching Godzilla destroy Cobra. And the whole time I'm watching it and I saw the outfit, I'm like, they look so familiar. And then when they all started to go, Hell Cobra, I'm like, wait a minute.
I might go back and watch that just for the fun of it.
It's all on YouTube. You can watch the entire thing. Toho have released the entire series on YouTube.
I will watch only that part.
Other than that, we will get to next time. We will actually get back to the regular Godzilla movies. We'll be going to the Heisei Godzilla era. Unfortunately, we won't get the role we love so much this episode. We're back to the original Godzilla role.
How will we ever cope? Zed, what will we do to cope with the tremendous loss?
Forget that it ever existed.
That works.
So, we will see you all then. Any closing words before we hop on out?
And Godzuki!
Oh, God dang it. Okay. God dang it. Yeah, no. Cut out. Get them out here.